Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. As the news has just dropped, the Tennessee Titans are parting ways with Todd Downing and others. They part ways with offensive coordinator Todd Downing, offensive line coach Keith Carter, secondary coach Anthony Midget, and offensive skill assistant Eric Frazier. Now, we're going to focus on Todd Downing for this video, but quickly on Carter, Midget, and Frazier. Frazier, I don't know nothing about him. If you want to get rid of him, fine. I don't know what he did. Offensive skill assistant, what does that really mean? It doesn't really mean much. So, okay, he's gone. Secondary coach Anthony Midget. This is a little surprising to me. Now, our quarterback play hasn't been great, but I mean, when Fulton has been healthy, he's been pretty good. And then McCurry struggled a bit as a rookie, but he wasn't terrible. And then Caleb Farley just hasn't stayed healthy, but Byard still plays pretty well. And Amani Hooker has played well with him. So that was a little surprising. Also, I liked Andrew Adams this season. So that was a little surprising, but, fine. I mean, I'm not going to like cry any tears about it. It's unfortunate for him, but okay. Offensive line coach Keith Carter. You know what? Good. Because although our offensive line, in terms of talent-wise, definitely wasn't there this year, also, it didn't have to be as bad as it was. While Dennis Daly stinks, I mean, you got to coach him up a little bit better than that if you're going to leave him in there. So I think our offensive line underperformed this year, and I can't even argue last year, so I'm fine with him being gone. Now, offensive coordinator Todd Downing. I think everyone can give a round of applause for this. And like I said in my recap for the Titans versus the Jaguars, look, you just couldn't keep this guy. Number one, the performance of the offense has been terrible. And really, that's enough. I mean, I really don't even have to continue the list. Why should I have to continue the list? But the number two, the guy got a public DUI this season. I mean, you could have fired him the morning after. I mean, I don't know how this trial is going to go. Maybe he ends up getting his DUI expunged. It's happened before. It'll happen again. But you just can't keep this drunk on the staff. I mean, I tweeted this out and I was half kidding, but I also wasn't. I was like, can someone sneak some vodka into Todd Downing's Gatorade? Because we got to get this offense cooking. We got to get a spark in this offense. Just put a little vodka in there. And I'm half joking, but only half. And now he's gone. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, there's really not much to say in terms of that. I think we're all in agreement when it comes to that. So goodbye, Todd Downing. Go be a tight end coach somewhere and never be a coordinator again. If anyone ever hires him as a coordinator again, they're wild to me. Good luck with that. And that's my endorsement there. So let's go ahead and discuss candidates. We want to discuss candidates. Now, we're not going to discuss this long, and we're not going to go through every potential candidate because when it comes to head coach candidates, you can narrow it down to a good amount to where you'll likely, maybe not likely, but it's more likely that you can find, a list of names that is worth talking about and very significant in terms of the potential of one of those names actually being selected. When it comes to offensive coordinator, any position, it's wide. Because when you look at head coaches, you're really, realistically, so there are 64 total offensive and defensive coordinators, roughly. Some teams don't have coordinators, but, basically, in the NFL. All of them are, you can, of those 64, only maybe half of them are even good, and then only maybe even a fourth are even worth head coaching positions. So you can already cut the list down to 16, and then you can start to, whittle, and then think about some college coaches, then that's it. When you're talking about offensive coordinator, you're not even talking about 64 offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. You're talking about every position coach, every, quarterback coach, running back coach, wide receiver coach. Everyone is an offensive line coach. Oh, and then not only in the NFL, but in college. There's so many names. So we're going to discuss the big names, my thoughts on the big names, and none of them could even end up coming through because you never know. So let's begin with Tim Kelly. So this is the pass game coordinator for the Tennessee Titans currently. He was the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans from 2019 through 2021. The offenses were, at least at 19 and 20, pretty good. And then without Deshaun Watson, pretty bad. Now, they were better last year than they were this year. So I guess that's some props to him because he left and then now he came here and then their offense was worse. I would be like, okay, I mean, it doesn't really excite me. It doesn't bore me. It's just, it's whatever. I'm fine with it. If that's what they want to do, I'm fine with it. Okay. Now, people are discussing Bill O'Brien. Yes, the former head coach of the Houston Texans, who Mike Vrabel coached under, who is currently the Alabama offensive coordinator, who was also the New England Patriots offensive coordinator. Now, this is interesting. Now, here's my problem with this. I don't like Bill O'Brien in terms of like his personality. I don't like it. And look, I know you're supposed to, it's not even about being like, oh, he's a tough guy, he's a football coach. I just don't think he's a very likable guy. I mean, to be honest with you, I was very annoyed with him, not just as a Titans fan, but just watching his press conferences with the Houston Texans over the years. Very annoyed. Seeing him mic'd up, very annoyed. I don't like him. And it would be interesting to have both his personality and Mike Vrabel's personality forefront. That would be very interesting and a little chaotic, if you ask me. A little too chaotic. However, can he coach offense? Yes, I do believe he can coach offense, and ultimately that is what matters. I just don't want to deal with Bill O'Brien press conferences again, but I'm intrigued. And look, if he comes in here and he does a good job, then fine, right? But it would be interesting, man. Personality-wise, it would be interesting to have Vrabel and Bill O'Brien in the room. And then some people are already discussing, well, you get Bill O'Brien, then you push for Brady, Tom Brady. Now, look, that would be 1 year, 2 years max. Am I that desperate yet? No, until we really retool this roster, I don't want Brady in here because I just think it's a waste of time. Like, I don't want Brady or Rodgers just because I think, again, next year you're talking about a 9-win team, a 10-win team at best. Why bring Brady in for that? I don't think that makes any sense. But it's a possibility. People are also discussing Nathaniel Hackett. You know what? Look, the offense was bad in Denver this year, and he has to take a lot of blame for that. Now, is Russ cooked? I mean, maybe, but I think that a lot of that was also Hackett. He didn't give him a good run game either. I mean, the run game, is that on Russell Wilson too? I don't think so. Javonte Williams went from a guy that was supposed to be an ascending running back in this league, potentially a top 10 running back in this league, to nothing. I mean, he was terrible. Or at least it wasn't efficient. And then Melvin Gordon was definitely terrible with the thing of Hackett. So I don't want Hackett. Frank Reich. Hello. Now we're having a conversation. I would like Frank Reich in Tennessee. I think Frank Reich would be a beautiful fit. I think he's a good coordinator. I think he could come here. And how old is he? Let me look up how old he is again. I was going to say he could come in here and maybe become a head coach again. But I mean, what is he? He's in his 60s, right? 61. I mean, he's still young enough, though. I think maybe he could be a head coach again, maybe one day. But at 61, I don't know. We'll see about that. But I think he's a beautiful candidate. I'd love to see him here in Tennessee. Some other names just to throw out there. Brian Hartline. Who? Yeah, the Miami Dolphins wide receiver. Former wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins. Current offensive pass game coordinator, for the Ohio State. Mike Vrabel's alum. I will look out for Brian Hartline possibly. Joe Brady, the Buffalo Bills quarterback coach. Look out for him. Brian Johnson, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback coach as well. There are a lot of possibilities. Don't want to, again, list every single name. Gerard Johnson, possible Minnesota Vikings assistant quarterback coach. Marcus Brady, former Indianapolis Colts offensive coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury. Some people are mentioning Cliff Kingsbury in the chat. I don't know if he wants to be a coordinator. I feel like he could it's kind of late, though, actually. I was going to say maybe get a college job, but it's already kind of late. Like, most teams have already hired their new head coaches. Kingsbury. And you know what? I don't think his personality would clash with Vrabel. I think Cliff Kingsbury is a bit of a beta, and that's not me being offensive. I think that's just the truth. And I think he would submit to Mike Vrabel. I think he would definitely be like a number 2. I don't think there'd be a power struggle there. I think it's interesting, Cliff Kingsbury. I'd be interested. I wouldn't be excited. I think a lot of people would be very excited. I wouldn't be excited, but I'd be very intrigued. Sometimes the Cardinals offense has not lived up to how good it should be, for sure. And if you watch them, you know that. So, and some of that's on Kyler, some of it, but I think a lot of it's also on Cliff. I'd be interested. I think it would be a good hire, not a great hire, but I think it'd be a good hire. So there are a lot of names. We're going to see how this progresses, but definitely look out for Tim Kelly and Bill O'Brien. Those are the two big names right now we're going to see there. I want Frank Reich. That's my number one, to be honest with you. Tim Kelly, again, look, the offense was decent in Houston, sure. And then, he came here. Our pass game stunk this year. So why do I want our pass game coordinator to be promoted? Our pass game stunk. So, I mean, I'm just being honest. And then, Bill O'Brien, I just think personality-wise, I don't know. It's just a little chaos. It's a little crazy. It could work. I mean, we stopped Jim Schwartz, and we never hear anything from Jim Schwartz, right? So, I mean, he's just completely gone quiet. Radio silent from Jim Schwartz. People keep forgetting that we even have Jim Schwartz. So, maybe Bill O'Brien comes in here and keeps his mouth shut. If he can do that, then fine. I just don't know if he can do that because, man, that guy has an ego. So, we'll see. But the point is this. Todd Downing is out as offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, and I cannot be more pleased. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.